Give another couple minutes for people to show up. Giving more time for people to show up to the late night stream. Late night stream. And make sure I didn't break anything with my trivial change I just did. Ay, ay, ay. I wanna put a new line there. Ay, 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 ay. Okay. It's been a very victorious day in terms of compiler stream land. And I thought I would push it by doing one more stream, even though I'm going to be tired. And continue attacking the struct polymorph at 10:44 p.m. Because way earlier in these streams, we disabled a piece of functionality, for example, this ability to call modified directives, but also then, we generated this internal compiler error here, but also there's all this duplicate handling for stuff like varargs and when putting the arguments together, it probably makes sense to do that separately here. But we should now be able to leverage all the stuff about unifying the polymorph handling that we've done in previous streams today and yesterday. So, how's my camera? It's all right, I'm slouching a little. Let's point it down slightly. Okay. Check if that's coming out well on stream, yes. So, I'm thinking about it in the background today, and I'm thinking, well, the varargs handling is like I'm manually composing an array here, which might be why I have separate handling. Like the other varargs handling that we attacked earlier today was just for type checking. It didn't actually create a new array type. Whereas this does, and it puts things into a constant array. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, actually, all this stuff is about making the array. So maybe that stays. So maybe really the only thing to do here is to re-enable modify. So I'm going to make that a separate item because I don't want to do that right now if that's the only thing. Modify on struct. So my plan for doing that is going to be, I realized that I don't have to make a whole new struct in order to apply the modify directive yet. I just make a scope. I just make the equivalent of the types block and just fill it with these things. And then that's fine. And that means I don't need to have this arguments array. I can just pass the types block here and there. And that'll allow me to reuse some things. Except I have to change some logic here, so it's not a big priority. And that might lead to some simplification here, but it's really any simplification that I do in this so far just looks like eliminating 5 or 10 lines of code from this routine, which isn't a very important kind of simplification. I really want to simplify the interweaving. I want to untie knots from the code, right? And there's not really any knots here. It was just like, okay, maybe this is doing a little bit more than I wish it did, but no knots. No knots. Right, I marked this error here before the stream started when I was looking at this code. But again, I'm not really concerned about that. Like, it needs to be fixed before we ship the compiler, but it's a corner case. So let's look at fine matching polymorph. That's probably simple. Is there anything else? Do we ever do a check the types match? No. Find matching polymorph struct version. For the source desk, everything that's polymorphed from it. If arguments blocks match. All right. Okay, let me disable this for a bit so that we don't spam the hell out of everything now anymore. Because I want to enable this, and I want to see if this is happening at all. I don't think it is. Maybe it is. Let's find out. Oh, it does. Oh, hash tables. All right. Yeah, I might want to come up with an accelerant for that, actually. Well, I'm not really sure what to do. I was hoping that there would be a simplification that I could engage in that would be really great. I don't see one there. Don't see one there. Which is a good sign. I mean, if we're coming close to the end of this job, and it's mostly tying up loose ends, because it's as simple as I can figure out how to get it right now, that's great. Like, that's a victory condition. Unless the amount that I was able to simplify is 0, but that's not what it was. So, wow. Cleaned up so many things these couple days. Let's go back here for a second. So when we get the type instantiation version, we call sort arguments. It's one of the few times that we still call sort arguments. Right, so there's that one, the respec. This one, struct polymorph, declaration of it. Sort call arguments are going to be polymorph, obviously call it there. And calling return. So there's really not that much duplication in this anymore. So what this is checking for is like, hey, well, yeah, you could see. Anyway, this isn't early out. And then if we don't early out, this does all the real work. You know, this whole poly check, this doesn't do anything except polymorph check. So actually I could probably fix that bug. Just by moving all this down here. And we only care the first time we discover it's polymorphic. Well, I'll do this step by step. So we're going to try this and make sure that works. Okay. And then, since we only care about this here, whoops, no, because I need this to exist. Okay, but I can make it exist. Not matching, so we will need a new result desk no matter what. So here, if we decide we're polymorphic, do this stuff, and then we break. Stop looping. That seems like a reasonable simplification. And you know, let's just do this. Screw it. And after this checks in, we'll investigate this redundant thing to see if it's really redundant. So get rid of all that. Oh, geez. Okay. This is a little bit bad. I don't want to do it this way. I want to move this back down. Sorry, I'm in the middle of this. So the thing is, if I make a new struct up here, and then I yield here many times because I'm waiting for other members to get compiled before I can do this, then that's bad because it wastes memory and is slower and stuff. And I would have to clean up the struct because it gets queued and all that. So let's not do that. Let's do what we were doing before. Poly equals false. Poly equals true. Break. Stop looping. And then we'll test this down here. Fine. All right. What happens there? Still works. Still works. All right. Sound effects are terrible. Should replace those sometime. Yeah, so that's worth a check-in right there. Fix polymorph detection corner casing structs. Did that get us down any lines of code? Yeah, a couple. Do I plan on changing the variable name? Yes, you already can do that. I've demoed that many times. You've been able to do that ever since I implemented for loops. Okay, so since that is fixed, all right, I was going to investigate this. So I want to say the following. Let's test this. Okay. And let's check the vice versa. If this assert this, looking good. So I don't need to test both these things is what I'm saying. Let's do this one. Because this latter thing is a different, it's a thing that may diverge in the future. All right. Let's make sure that didn't break. Shouldn't have. All right. Small simplification, but it is worth doing. Well, like I said, I could do these other simplifications above, but I don't really want to right now. So maybe this is all that I can do. Oh wait. No, there's copy block. Doesn't copy block push the block already? Copy block. Push is the destination block, which we're already doing. So, in theory, these are not needed. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Okay. I mean, it's a minor simplification, but it's eliminating redundant work. Okay. Where are we at now? 079. That's a good number. Well, I don't know what to do about the fact that my panel isn't showing on the live channel isn't showing on the live page. I didn't build Twitch. I'm not responsible for it being buggy. This is just a private stream that not everybody knows about then. It's not going to be that important of a stream because like I was saying, I kind of don't feel like I had thought going into this that there'd be a lot for me to do here right now, but I don't see it. I don't see it. Okay. There's one on here that may be big that I talked about Sunday, but it's possibly so big that I fear doing it now. Oh, actually, hold on. This is not strictly correct. Okay, so let's get rid of this. Well, whatever. We never ended up using these num to checks, and it's not clear that we will use them anytime in the future. So, get rid of those. And we'll get rid of the setting of number of initial polymorph type matches, because I don't believe we use that. That was a thing I was doing. And we ended up not doing it that way. So that's good. Get rid of that. You get a car, and you get a car, and you get a car. 0.075. Okay. So what I'm thinking is, the reason my eye turned to that is we have this procedure for comparing two types blocks that we're using now for lambdas. But we're not using that for structs because for structs we're passing in this arguments array, and so it's like, different. The thing is, well, I feel like if I change this at the calling site, then I can get rid of this routine completely because we would just call types blocks match. And that would be another, it's not just getting rid of this procedure, but it's like a conceptual unification where we just call this all the time. Do I have a problem with this in any way? I don't think that I do. I don't think that I do. It's not clear to me that there's a good way to make a temporary types block for the struct itself. So maybe I shouldn't do it this way. Maybe it doesn't matter. This is too small. For how much I would have to do to fix it, it feels small. How many base classes above subclass is too many base classes? Do you mean that the other way around? The base class is the thing you inherit from usually. And I don't ever use multiple inheritance. So the answer, if you mean it that way, would be any more than one is too many. Yeah. Well, this may be a short stream, guys. May be a short stream. So the other thing that I was saying before that may seem big, but may be good, is these recursively clean flags procs that we simplified a little bit on Sunday. As I was saying at that time, if the copy operation cleans the polymorph flags itself, then we don't, okay, so I'm just going to do check in before trying crazy thing. Okay, didn't need to check anything in. I'm just going to try it, and there's a chance that the dumb thing will work. So like if we get rid of all this stuff, there is no more poly recursive in parser.cpp. Oops, I can't do this. Okay, so is that the only place that's called? I think so. Yeah. So these don't need to be an ast. It's only called from one place in the program. Oh wait, no it's not, it's called from here. Put arguments into lambda. So what is going on here? I'll write down to investigate clear polymorph flags as a separate cleanup, but this recursively clean polymorph flags, it's a bit of it's like a bunch of mutually recursive routines, and if I can get rid of them, that would be good. So recursively clean flags. Clear polymorph flags, and then recursively clean flags. Okay. Set a variable on the copy to clear the flags as it copies. Yes. That is my note from yesterday. Start copying. Copier.clear polymorph flags from lambda arguments equals true. Okay, wait. Before I do this, we confirmed that copy block pushes the destination block. So all of these copy blocks well, just that one didn't need a push. Let's test that. Because we already applied that victory once. Whoa, failed. Aggressively, oh, because, oh, jeez. Turn these back on for a bit. It's fine. Still works. Still works. Okay. So that's fine. Now that's an ask.h. What does that do? Yep. All right. So maybe this is easy. So if we're copying a lambda, if, can I copy that? If clear polymorph flags from procedure arguments for dest arguments block members clear polymorph flags it. Yeah. Okay, so now I don't think I removed the call to recursively clean. So what I'm really testing now is that what I added didn't break anything extra. Okay. We'll say if it type inst okay, see what happens. I don't know. It's going. It's good news. Okay, so that didn't break anything extra. So now let's see if we can get away with just not calling that. Because that would be awesome. Wow. All right. That was much easier. This is the day of total victory in all dimensions. This is awesome. All right, well, and these are members, so they have 3 lines of code that we get for free there. We get to delete all this. All this. Get to delete that. We get to delete all this stuff. I get to say, so in a second, I'm going to do that. We don't need to clear polymorph flags since the copier did that because we told it to. Yay. Okay. Okay, wait. This is dumb because, okay, wait. When I copy a type instantiation, so here, I'm worried about something. This is a bug. This is stupid because I did this only around the returns block, not the arguments block. And it's the arguments block that we need to do that to. Because returns, declarations in the returns block are not polymorphic. So the question is, why did it work anyway? And the answer is, I'm not sure why it worked anyway. Let me move this to the proper place. Wow, it is the tired stream. Well, let's do that. is the tired stream. So let's make sure that didn't break anything, that movement. And then we are building the debug build of the compiler. That is dated 11:23 p.m. and we are running that very program. So it is working. Question is, why? And what I can guess is that maybe our other cleanups that we've been doing for these 2 days already clear these things in a different way. So first of all, when we come out of the copier, inst value is not set. This is only set after we have inferred type. And in fact, well, maybe we need to do that there. Because the arg lambda is already inferred? Maybe? But this part isn't coming into play for what we're doing. Because we just copied this thing, it's not inferred, so inst value will not be set. Which means that, so the only thing we're thinking about is these. And it's really only this one. Because if this one was ever set, we would have stolen the polymorphism and then made it not polymorphic. So it's really just this. So when do we set that? We set it here. Okay, back in here, when we're stealing polymorphism, we set it here when we're adding something to the types block. Wait, who calls add types block? So is for value bake is never true here. So I'm going to write that down. That's low-hanging fruit, but it's a sidetrack in add to types block. That's just another fallout from our simplifications that we can simplify that routine now, and I didn't notice that before. Okay, that's startup. This is when we're making a quick lambda, okay. It defines a polymorph variable. Okay. write down that I want to investigate carry morphism. What sorts of external dependencies or libs does the compiler use besides LLVM? The only really main one is libdynecall, which is pretty good. In fact, the authors of that are very responsive to problems. I've emailed them twice with problems that were really my bug. So that was entertaining, and they got back to me both times. That's really the only other one. Everything else is from the ground up. Got a lot of small things to follow up on, but this feels important. So one reason why it might not matter is that maybe we never look at this flag, right? So yeah, you know what? It looks like we never use that flag on the type instantiation. Oh, well, no, because in typer, what we do is we copy the def and flags wholesale. Yeah, right here. So if the inst has the polymorph flag set, then so shall this. So let's see what the copier does. Okay. But okay, so we copy that. So clearing that flag does not do anything because we clear it. Okay, wait. We clear it for arguments anyway. So if we clear it on arguments, then how do partially polymorphic procedures work in the first place? Like when I do the Muller thing, for example, which has 2 arguments, oh, it's because I bake it. It's because I bake it. So if I polymorph, so the Muller isn't polymorphic ever. It's just that I bake it into things. So I guess what's going on is that code of clearing polymorph flags was necessary once upon a time, but now it's all for a case that actually can't happen. And that case is when you apply can it happen? When you apply arguments, or when you apply a procedure call and it's still polymorphic. No, it can't happen because we wouldn't infer it in that case. Like if there's still polymorph variables outstanding, we wouldn't infer it. So yeah, I believe all of this is not necessary because it can't happen, and the running of the program proves it. So, well, if it comes up as a corner case later, we can re-enable some of this stuff. But for now, I'm going to disable it. So that's good. We not only got to delete all that recursive stuff, we got to delete our fix. Sokoban. I'm playing Sokoban. Alright. Alright, well. That's what happens is code changes. Oh, 043. Wow, that's so good. Okay. Oh, no. So I was going to go to add to types block. So the capital C macro recursively copies pointers to syntax tree nodes. And the lowercase c macro just copies scalars with equals. So, anything that is itself a syntax tree node, you use capital C on. Okay. So now I'm going to go, when I spotted that add to types block had an extra parameter now that we don't use, we might as well reap the benefits of that. It is never for value bake. Think. Let's make sure it's not supposed to be. I know we never passed that parameter, but let's make sure. Okay. This is probably slower than it needs to be, but whatever. This is quick lambda? Yeah, quick lambda. And this is just when we parse type instantiation. And it's polymorphic. So that's all looks correct to me. So we get rid of the parameter. Oops. Just go to the point I'm clicking on. Just go to the point I'm clicking on. Got a few lines of code out of that. Ho ho ho. That number's getting lower and lower. Who calls carry polymorphism now? Is that just a parse time thing? What is going on with that? Seems like a lot of people call it. Oh, right. Yeah. Although maybe the... Yeah. That probably should be the way it is. How about this one, though? How about the must version? It's much simpler. Wow, that's a goofy assert. Shouldn't really have that. Array dimension. Yeah, these all look reasonable. I don't think polymorphism is the devil. Why would I put it in a programming language if I think it's bad? Certain kinds of polymorphism are not that helpful. Certain dogmatisms about certain kinds of polymorphism are not that helpful. Probably should be there, but it's orthogonal to what we're doing right now. Okay, so I looked into carry polymorphism. Who does? Yeah. Let me just... All right, so we're back to this. And I think the answer is just yes, like, based on all that other stuff we did. We'll find out. Finding out. I'm so paranoid right now that I want to make sure that Sokoban is really doing something. So I want to make sure we're really compiling. What's the best way? Sokoban. It's a fun thing to do. For 1 to 100, print hello sailor. Is this really all working as well as it appears to be working? There's our hello sailor. It's really recompiling it, and it's really working. I'm amazed at how well all this has happened, honestly. So that was one of the calls to clear polymorph flags, which I think leaves one, right? Clear polymorph flags. Yeah, it's like just this one. No, there aren't any. Wait, no, that one. And I am pretty sure it's okay to non-recursively do it after thinking about it more, but let me look at this. Okay, so first of all, that can come out of the header file. And go into body file here. Bam. Okay, wait. Now I'm paranoid. Now I am paranoid. What just happened? Which do weird things to me. Why does my laptop have tap to click turned on all of a sudden? That's garbage. Probably because I sent it in for repair and they reinstalled things. Okay. I am currently paranoid. I'm tired now, and I am paranoid that we're not clearing the polymorph flags. And the reason it works is that we're polymorphing everything in the universe. But then there's no polymorphic arguments, so we're just doing a bunch of needless recompilation work or something. It doesn't appear to take longer than it used to, although I don't know how long. Let's see how long it takes. See how long it takes. And release build, you know, I should have, just for testing purposes, run release build at some point, but I never did. So let's do that. It's just good to do. Okay, so it's taken about 0.75 seconds, sometimes a little more, which on this computer is approximately expected. It's slower than what I demoed a while ago, and that's because you know, I did some things that introduced maybe some not good behavior into the queuing, and I need to go figure out what's going on and optimize that. And also, this computer is a little slower. Even though it's a brand new desktop computer, it's slower than my laptop at running the compiler. And yeah, it's also much more unpredictable. Like I got 1.25 and like 0.7. Like really? There's that much of a spread? So if it were just rampantly polymorphing everything, I would expect it to be much slower. I should officially test for that at some point, but not now. That may be the end of the stream, I think, because I'd like to work on it more when I am thinking clearly. Does anyone have any final questions? It's the final questions. I'm tempted to just delete this one, see what happens. Let me just do that. I feel like that should break something, but if it doesn't, then I need to think about this. I need to question my reality and think about what is going on. So I expect this to break. Doesn't. Wow. Oh wait, that was release build. Debug build. Still doesn't break. Now I'm worried. I'm worried that I really should be clearing these flags for some reason. Okay, I'm writing down why do I apparently not need to clear polymorph flags ever? Question mark, question mark, question mark. I don't know, and I need to, that's going to be an investigation that I do tomorrow, because you can't just like wave your hands and say, oh, I guess it works. That's just a little too much. You gotta know why it works. But it does work. I guess it works. All right, well, what are we down to? 38027, that's amazing. So we're 160 lines today, I guess. It's not bad. That's 0.5%. I don't know how long it'll be till sausages. I probably will move on to something tomorrow too, but I have to do this investigation. I might not do this investigation on stream because it might involve just me boringly staring at code for a long time. All right. Thanks everyone for coming to the stream. I'm gonna get some sleep. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. See y'all. See